Audie Leon Murphy, 1925 to 1971, an American soldier, actor, and musician, is widely regarded as America's most decorated combat soldier of World War II. He received every combat award for valor from the United States Army, as well as awards from France and Belgium for heroism. At age 19, Murphy received the Medal of Honor for extraordinary bravery, single-handedly holding off a company of German soldiers for an hour at Colmar Pocket, France, in January 1945, before leading a successful counterattack despite being wounded. However, tragedy suddenly struck on May 28, 1971, when the private plane carrying him crashed, taking the life of this great hero just a short time before his 46th birthday. What makes the truth behind his death so bitter, beyond the usual explanation of pilot error? Was he really killed by pilot inexperience and technical failure in bad weather conditions? Or is there something deeper hidden in the star's glamorous but also dark life, involving serious wartime psychological trauma and a complex web of political intrigue? Let's find out the exact truth about this fateful event, peeling back each layer of tragedy to better understand the talented but ill-fated soldier who became an immortal heroic symbol of America. Audie Leon Murphy was born on June 20, 1925, in Kingston, a small rural community in Hunt County, northeast Texas, United States. He was the seventh of 12 children born to Emmett Barry Murphy and his wife, Josie Bell Murphy. The Murphy family were sharecroppers of English, Irish, Scots-Irish, Scottish, and German descent. Murphy's childhood was marked by extreme poverty during the Great Depression. His father was often absent and eventually abandoned the family. His mother died of endocarditis and pneumonia in 1941 when Murphy was a teenager. Orphaned and with only a fifth-grade education, Murphy was forced to leave school to find work picking cotton for $1 a day, equivalent to $23 in 2024, to support his younger siblings. In doing so, he became proficient with a shotgun, helping his family put food on the table. After his mother's death, Hunt County authorities placed his 3 youngest siblings in the Bowles Children's Home, a Christian orphanage. After the war, he purchased a house in Farmersville for his oldest sister Corinne and her husband Poland Burns, where his other siblings also lived for a short time. The loss of his mother haunted Murphy throughout his life. He once said, "She died when I was 16. She had the most beautiful hair I had ever seen. It nearly reached the floor. She rarely spoke. She always seemed to be searching for something. What it was, I don't know. We didn't discuss our feelings, but when she died, she took a part of me with her. It seems I've been searching for it ever since." After the attack on Pearl Harbor in December 1941, Murphy attempted to enlist in the military. However, the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps all rejected him because he was underweight and underage. He was only 5 feet 5 inches tall and weighed just over 110 pounds. His sister then provided a false affidavit that stated his birth date, allowing him to enlist. Murphy was accepted into the U.S. Army on June 30, 1942. After basic training at Camp Walters and advanced infantry training at Fort Meade, Murphy was sent to Casablanca, French Morocco, in February 1943. He was assigned to Company B, 1st Battalion, 15th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division. Murphy's military career was a continuous journey of combat through many important battlefields. He participated in the Allied landings in Sicily in July 1943, where he served as a division messenger. During a reconnaissance patrol, he killed 2 fleeing Italian officers near Canacattì. He then took part in Operation Avalanche, the Salerno landings in September 1943. During a reconnaissance mission along the Volturno River, he and another soldier successfully responded to an ambush, killing 5 German soldiers with grenades and machine gun fire after one of his comrades was shot dead. Murphy was promoted to sergeant in December and staff sergeant in January 1944. During the Battle of Anzio, Murphy contracted malaria and did not participate in the initial landings, but returned in late January. At Anzio, while sheltering in an abandoned farmhouse on March 2nd, Murphy and his platoon killed the crew of a passing German tank. He then crawled out alone and got close enough to destroy the tank with a rifle grenade, an action that earned him the Bronze Star with V device. Murphy's extraordinary bravery reached its peak on January 26, 1945, in the town of Holtzwihr, in the Colmar Pocket in France. While his company awaited reinforcements and faced a strong German counterattack and tanks, Murphy was assigned to command Company B. The Germans attacked and destroyed an M10 tank destroyer near Murphy's command post, forcing the crew to abandon the vehicle. Murphy remained at his post alone, firing his M1 carbine and directing artillery fire via field radio, while the Germans fired directly at his position. Murphy then climbed aboard an abandoned, burning tank destroyer and began firing its .50 caliber machine gun. For an hour, Murphy stood on the burning tank, returning fire from advancing German infantry and tanks, killing or wounding 50 German soldiers. He only stopped when he ran out of ammunition and suffered a leg wound while standing and fighting. Despite the wound, Murphy remained with his comrades to command them to repel the Germans. This action earned Audie Murphy Medal of Honor. When asked after the war why he risked taking a machine gun and confronting an entire company of German infantry, Murphy replied simply, "They were killing my friends." He is the most decorated soldier in American history. After the war, Murphy embarked on a 21-year acting career, starring in more than 40 films and a television series. He came to Hollywood after producer James Cagney saw him in a magazine. Life, July 1945, was described as the most decorated soldier. Most notable work, To Hell and Back. Although Murphy was initially reluctant to appear as himself, he eventually agreed to star in the 1949 film adaptation of his memoir of the same name. The film became the biggest hit in Universal Studios history at the time and cemented his status as a movie star. Most of Murphy's roles were in Western films. He played Billy the Kid in The Kid from Texas, 1950, and the robber Jesse James in Kansas Raiders, 1950. He also participated the duel at Silver Creek, 1952, and Destry, 1954. In 1957, he had a memorable role as the Utica Kid, alongside James Stewart in Night Passage. In 1959, he co-produced, without credit, Cast a Long Shadow and was critically acclaimed for his role as an assassin in No Name on the Bullet. He also participated in the TV series, Whispering Smith. Universal Studios lent him to MGM to play the youth, Henry Fleming, in the film The Red Badge of Courage. This is an iconic role in a critically acclaimed film. In addition to acting, Murphy is also a talented musician. He collaborated with musician Scott Turner from 1962 to 1970, creating many successful songs such as Shutters and Boards and When the Wind Blows in Chicago. He also wrote the poem The Crosses Grow on Anzio, which appeared in the book To Hell and Back, although it is attributed to the fictional character Kerrigan. Alongside the glory of war and the stage, Murphy's personal life also experienced many storms. Murphy married actress Wanda Hendricks in 1949. The marriage attracted considerable media attention due to both their rising fame. However, their marriage was strained by the pressures of Hollywood and Murphy's personal problems, particularly PTSD. They divorced in 1951 after 2 years of marriage. Just 4 days after his divorce from Wanda Hendricks, Murphy married Pamela Opal Lee Archer, a former flight attendant. Pamela was described as having a calm and practical personality, providing the stability Murphy desperately needed. They had 2 sons, Terry Michael and James Shannon. Despite facing many hardships, including emotional scars from war, family remained a stabilizing force for Murphy, and his marriage to Pamela lasted longer and brought him a greater degree of personal happiness. Murphy, who bred quarter horses at the Audie Murphy Ranch in California and Arizona, invested large sums of money in his horse racing hobby. Gambling and poor investments left him financially in trouble. In 1968, he reported losing $260,000 on an Algerian oil deal and was in the midst of settling unpaid taxes with the Internal Revenue Service, IRS. Despite his financial struggles, Murphy refused offers to appear in alcohol and tobacco commercials because he did not want to set a bad example for young people. From humble beginnings picking cotton for $1 a day, Murphy rose to the pinnacle of a career marked by the highest honors in the Hollywood spotlight. Behind the spotlight, in his private life, invisible wounds from war and financial instability began to create a deep personal tragedy. Ironically, Audie Murphy's extraordinary bravery on the battlefield contrasted sharply with the secret internal struggle he faced after his return. His journey from celebrated hero to victim of personal tragedies led to his controversial death. After being discharged with the rank of first lieutenant in September 1945, Murphy became obsessed with insomnia and prolonged depression during the service. The condition was known as combat fatigue, or shell shock, but today it is recognized as post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. A post-war medical examination in 1947 revealed symptoms of headaches, vomiting, and nightmares about the war. To cope with the nightmares, he took sleeping pills and frequently slept with a loaded pistol under the pillow. The severity of his PTSD exacerbated his naturally erratic personality, leading to alarming behavior toward friends and colleagues. His first wife, Dixie Wanda Hendricks, claimed Murphy had pointed a gun at her. She also witnessed her husband being tormented and in tears while watching news reports about German wartime orphans. In the mid-1960s, Murphy realized he had become dependent on the sedative Placidol. In a drastic attempt to free himself, he locked himself alone in a hotel room for a week to successfully quit drugs. In a sense of responsibility, Murphy has been outspoken about his PTSD issues to draw attention to the problems of veterans returning from the Korean War and the Vietnam War. He called for increased government scrutiny and research into the emotional impact of combat experiences and expanded healthcare benefits for veterans. As a result, the Audie L. Murphy Memorial VA Veterans Hospital in San Antonio opened in 1973, a result of legislation introduced 5 months after his death. On May 28, 1971, Audie Murphy was killed when the private plane he was traveling in crashed into the side of Brush Mountain, 14 nautical miles northwest of Roanoke, Virginia. The crash occurred in extremely poor weather conditions: rain, clouds, fog, and zero visibility. The pilot and 4 other passengers also died. According to the NTSB's initial official report and popular information over the years, the accident was attributed to pilot error and poor visibility. The pilot had only a private pilot's license and reported 8,000 hours of flying experience, but no instrument rating. This is important when flying in blind conditions. However, rumors and suspicions quickly arose, fueled by Murphy's complicated personal life, ongoing struggles with PTSD, and whispers of shadowy forces that may want to silence him. Conspiracy theories have circulated that the crash was staged by intelligence agencies. These theorists believe Murphy may have had sensitive information during his time in Hollywood and had contacts with government officials. Other theories suggest he was targeted for revenge over personal business dealings or was being hunted by organized crime. These doubts are well-founded because several key details of the crash have never been satisfactorily explained. Why the plane flew so low into the danger zone, inconsistencies in the pilot's testimony, and the absence of some key debris at the crash site all create a discrepancy between the official explanation and other theories. Recently, a team of independent investigators, using advanced forensic technology and access to declassified government documents, conducted a thorough re-examination of the crash. Analysis of the wreckage, flight data, and weather reports using modern tools led to alarming findings, proved the crash was an act of sabotage rather than an accident. Investigators found evidence of interfere with the aircraft's control system, including cables being cut or diverted in a manner consistent with vandalism. Furthermore, new interviews with previously silent witnesses and former officials have shown that Murphy was being followed in the months leading up to the crash. A whistleblower who chose to speak out after decades of silence revealed that Murphy was stumbled upon sensitive information related to secret government activities. This made him a danger to some powerful groups. The whistleblower's testimony paints a chilling picture of a cover-up designed to make Murphy's death look like a tragic accident and silence him forever. These revelations have had deeply disturbing consequences. Audie Murphy, who was praised for his bravery on the battlefield, appears to have betrayed in peacetime by forces intent on wiping him out. What was once romanticized as a tragic accident now reveals a grim reality: conspiracy, betrayal, and calculated violence. This dark truth taints memories of Murphy's final moments, replacing the image of a fallen hero with a man caught in a web of political intrigue and danger. For the Murphy family, the impact was profound. After years of grappling with grief and unanswered questions, they now faced the reality of wrongdoing and are demanding a full public inquiry to seek justice. In 1975, a court awarded widow Pamela and her 2 sons $2.5 million in damages for the accident. The true nature of the incident, after analysis of new evidence, suggests that Audie Murphy's death was more than a simple traffic accident caused by bad weather or mechanical failure. It was the culmination of personal and external tragedy, a grim reminder that even heroes can fall victim to dark forces far beyond the battlefield. Audie Murphy's life was a blend of classic military heroism and modern personal struggles. He was not only a combat icon, but also a pioneer in publicly acknowledging the invisible psychological trauma suffered by soldiers. The greatest tragedy of Murphy's life is that he dared to go public with his battle with PTSD, paving the way for social awareness. He used his fame to raise awareness of veterans' issues and the need for mental health support, becoming one of the first public figures to speak openly about the emotional toll of combat. Despite bouts of depression, insomnia, and sudden anger, Murphy devoted himself to civic activities. He received the Distinguished Civilian Service Medal in 1960 for his cooperation in the television series, The Big Picture of the United States Army, where he introduced the latest military weapons. Murphy's legacy extends beyond his 33 medals and honors. His refusal to appear in alcohol and tobacco commercials, despite financial hardship, underscores his personal responsibility for his heroic image. He demonstrated humility, even in Hollywood, never considering himself a great actor. The mysterious death and evidence of conspiracy highlight a heartbreaking aspect. America's greatest soldier, after surviving some of the fiercest campaigns of World War II, may have been killed in peacetime in a plot that spiraled out of control. This has forced historians and military experts to reconsider his legacy in the context of the Cold War and Hollywood's relationship with government agencies. Murphy died shortly before his 46th birthday. He was buried with military honors at Arlington National Cemetery on June 7, 1971. Attendees included Ambassador to the United Nations George H.W. Bush and Army Chief of Staff William Westmoreland. Murphy's grave is located in Section 46 across from the amphitheater. It is the second most visited site in the cemetery, behind only President John F. Kennedy's, and a special flagstone walkway was built to accommodate the large number of visitors. Headstones for Medal of Honor recipients at Arlington are typically decorated with gold leaf. Murphy, however, had previously requested that his be kept plain, simple, and unassuming, like that of a regular soldier. Notably, his headstone lists his birth year as 1924, based on military documents that were allegedly falsified when he enlisted to qualify. As mentioned, the Audie L. Murphy Memorial VA Veterans Hospital in San Antonio, Texas, was named after him in 1973. Murphy was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame on February 8, 1960. In 2013, he was honored by the state of Texas with the Texas Legislative Medal of Honor. Audie Murphy's legacy is a testament to the fact that true courage is not only shown through the act of facing down an enemy, but also through wrestling with inner demons and the dark secrets of the world. Audie Leon Murphy's life was a series of dramatic paradoxes. From a poor, orphaned school dropout to the greatest soldier in American history, he parlayed battlefield glory into Hollywood success, but struggled with PTSD and financial hardship. His life was defined by unparalleled bravery and ended in a horrifying mystery where the truth of sabotage replaced the story of a simple accident. This insightful study not only celebrates his achievements, but also unpacks the hidden tragedies, particularly the truth about his being targeted for being entangled in sensitive information. Murphy's legacy lives on, reminding us of the terrible cost of war, not just on the front lines, but in the hearts of soldiers. What questions does the hidden truth about Audie Murphy's plane crash after she sacrificed her life for her country raise about our trust in powerful institutions and the true cost of heroism in peacetime? Can society truly protect those who protect us, or can they become victims of the secrets they are sworn to keep?